Now.
No, we aren't strangers, are we?
Hey Sass Squad, welcome back to the video. In today's video I'm going to be commentating over a 5-0 set I did on my Twitch stream with XL Alolan Grimer. I was going to post a live highlight of the matches, but I wasn't even commentating my thought process, but instead ranting about other aspects of Pokemon Go. So I decided to do some post commentary. You can check out the VOD on my Twitch though if you're interested in watching me do a 5-0 with a spice line while barely paying attention. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more GBL content, and let's just jump into the video. Alrighty, so in our first match here, we get a pretty ideal lead, and we do get Azumarill. And I decided to switch into my own Azumarill, but not right away. I did farm a little bit with Grimer here. And this is kind of interesting because, yeah, I'm not going to shield the foul play there. I kind of assumed it would be a foul play. I do get hit by a return, which honestly isn't the worst situation for us. I mean, we do throw Hydro, they do shield. I mean, we have a little bit of energy on Grimer, and I was going to risk it here, and I didn't think it was going to be a return for that, because I was assuming they thought I was going to throw my energy right as I could, and because they did throw foul play, I farmed a little bit of extra energy, and then I throw a crunch. And they actually have a full team here that kind of struggles with Alolan Grimer. I mean, obviously, I don't think Alolan Grimer is bulky enough to sweep this whole team, but this is generally a really nice match for us to start a 5-0. So we're going to throw Crunch here, and the Marowak is going to shield. At this point, we are actually going to switch to our Deoxys defense, and we are going to take a Shadow Bone to the face. Thankfully, it was not Shadow Ball, but in comes the Azu. We have enough energy to throw Thunderbolt with our Deoxys defense. We're going to throw that Thunderbolt. And this is still a really close match, even though we had a really nice lead advantage. We shield the Ice Beam, and at this point we are able to, I think we can get Ozzy low enough that we can just farm down, and this puts us right at the point where we're right at a Psycho Boost, and this will be enough to knock out Marowak. Really close match regardless. I'm not sure if I played this optimal or not. I mean, this was essentially my first day trying out this team. Okay, so in the next match we do get a Scrafty lead, and they got a little bit of lag there. I mean, it's kind of a weird match. I don't think they could really do anything. I think their best option would have been to throw Power Up Punch right away, but they end up throwing foul play. I don't shield. We do get a Sludge Bomb off on the Scrafty, and I honestly wasn't really too scared of that lead regardless of the situation, because if they did throw a Power Up Punch, I have two things in the back line I could switch to. So we're going to stay in with our Grimer on this Skarmory and just throw two Crunches, which is pretty insane how much damage that racked up just right there. And of course we're going to bring in Deoxys defense, knowing that whatever they throw, we will be able to tank it rather easily. And they do throw a Brave Bird, which I was alright with, because now we just get a farm down, and they do have Azu in the back as well, and essentially that's game, because we do have the Mirror, and they let one Thunderbolt slip in, and I think what we end up doing here is we just throw Psycho Boost, and I think what I'll do is I think I do switch here. Okay, no, I'm just going to let Deoxys defense go, which is quite okay, because there's no way they can pull off this win at this point. So yeah, they do end up just quitting the match there. Alright, so in this match we get a Nidoqueen lead. I did think this would be a little scary. I don't know what our opponent was thinking. They ended up switching out here, and they took a Crunch to the face on their Sableye, which, again, I'm not 100% sure what they were thinking when they made this switch, but we know that Nidoqueen is going to be a huge threat to our Azu, so we're going to switch in Azu on Sableye, knowing that's a good switch in, and also that knowing that Nidoqueen is going to be there in the back, and maybe Azu won't be as helpful late game. So in this situation, I'm going to shield because I want to win the switch. I do have a slight amount of energy here, and I'm assuming that Nidoqueen is coming in, and that's exactly what happens. The Nidoqueen does make an appearance, And I do have enough for Hydra, so I'm just going to throw it in. For whatever reason, they didn't call that. I don't know what maybe they didn't think I had enough energy for it, but that really cost them a lot here. It's hard for me to think that, I think I still had a pretty good win condition in that matchup, even if they didn't take the Hydro. But okay, so we do have a Jellicent lead here, which is one of the things I really like about Alolan Grimer. This matchup, if you're running Jellicent and you ever find yourself in a situation, just go straight Shadow Balls here. It still hits for a decent amount of damage on Alolan Grimer, even though it has the Dark typing. These people made some crazy plays. I mean, I was kind of like half paying attention when I was doing these matches. We were just having a in-depth discussion about Pokemon mechanics and such. But they switched in their, it looks like a Powder Snow Alolan Ninetales, and I just stayed in, ramped up a little poison damage, and now I think I just go for, I feel like I just go for a farm down here. Knowing that, like, I'm not really too scared. Yeah, they did throw a Dazzling Gleam, but I thought that was alright. I figured, whatever, right? I think at this point I'm taking the risk. I'm like, it has to be a Weather Ball. We make a great call. We do a farm down. We have so much energy on Azu, and so here they throw their Bubble Beam, and I think I go for Ice Beam, because normally at Ice Beam, I think at this range, even though it's resisted and it's not stab, I think it gets close enough to knocking out. I think the Bubble Beam is the main reason why we didn't knock out there or get our, or we should have been able to knock out before we got that Shadow Ball on us at least. And in comes Altaria, and we do have energy on Azumarill, so we're going to switch out. And we're going to try to get off a Thunderbolt here. We're trying to get this shield. You know, even though it was like kind of an interesting beginning and we had a pretty decent start, this match is really close still. And they make a great call to not shield that one, assuming it would be Psycho Boost, and they farm down. And in my mind, I'm like, they absolutely have a Sky Attack here. So I throw my Ice Beam, and for whatever reason, I was really confused. I feel like they had Sky Attack for sure. I think they were just going for the BM to farm down, and I just threw another Ice Beam and knocked them out. So let that be a lesson. Don't be too greedy. I mean, that had to be a mistake on their end. Alright, so for this final match, we actually get another Jellicent lead, and again, even though the Jellicent will resist our poison moves because of its ghost typing, we still gather energy rather fast, and if they're trying to bait us with Bubble Beams, not really a big deal. See, like, that Shadow Ball still adds up, you know? So they end up bringing in a Lickitung here, and I'm gonna throw a Crunch, I think. I mean, maybe I could have thrown a Sludge Bomb, but they actually do shield, so that probably was the better situation energy-wise for us. And we're actually going to bring in Deoxys Defense on this Lickitung. I mean, this is a little scary because the licks do add up, but we are simultaneously hitting them with counter, and I'm going to just take these body slams and try to rack up a little bit of energy. Now I'm going to throw a Thunderbolt, knowing that we don't want to weaken our counter, and we do get some damage off. And at this point, I think I will shield and try to go for a farm down. Yeah, and fortunately enough for us, that did work out in our favor. We are going to just throw Psycho Boost here because it should do enough. And they do have the Galarian Stunfisk in the back line. And I figured this is a tough situation, but Azumarill, by having Azumarill and a potential sack swap, I was assuming we were in the better position. And, you know, I don't really play Azumarill that much, but since I don't play it that much, I'm not really as comfortable baiting with it. But I feel like baiting with Azumarill is probably the go-to in a lot of situations. And that was crazy how our opponent made that call there. And this is pretty much the game-changing play. Like, I made that sack swap, was able to... You know, the interesting thing was they undertapped, and I almost was able to get a crunch off, which I think would have killed as well. But fortunately for us, we made a really great switch there on the Earthquake, and we were able to get our second Hydro Pump off. Where in that match, if we baited correctly, we wouldn't have probably even needed to pull that off. Good games to everyone, and again, this was a set I was like half paying attention to. During the stream, I did 2 1-4s and 2 3-2s, so it was the first time trying to run this team. I feel like there's definitely a lot of baiting you have to pull off successfully, but it's a very interesting line. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for checking out my video. Come check me out live on Twitch to see the live experience. I have my schedule on my Twitch bio if you want to see when I go live. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, the Sass Squad is getting stronger each and every day. You guys have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're tuning in. And I'll catch you next time. Bye.